Hey guys, welcome back to the LuxBiz channel. I'm Tatiana, and today I have the privilege of having Kale and Taylor join me on this video. Kale and Taylor are Amazon pros, and they're here to share with you some awesome information and add tremendous value to you guys. So Kale, Taylor, maybe you can start just by introducing yourselves, where you're from, and how'd you get started with the Amazon business?
What's up, guys? We're happy to be here. Thank you so much for having us. My name's Kale. I'm actually from Iowa, if you can believe that. I don't know if anyone on this channel is from Iowa, but we are in Pittsburgh right now. We started Amazon last year, and like you said, we're getting pretty good at it, I guess, and it's been really fun. We just started a YouTube channel. We have another company too, so it's been quite a wild ride, really.
Yeah, and I'm Taylor. I'm actually from North Carolina, so we both happened to meet in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it's been really, really cool. But we got started, I don't know, 6 months ago. Kale started a month before I did. Then I hopped in with him, and since then we've just been doing what we can do with Amazon FBA.
Awesome. Yeah, that's amazing. So you guys only started 6 months ago, and you guys are making, what, up to 80K a month in sales now?
Yeah, we were at 80K. I think I started looking for products in June, so however long that's been. Time flies when you're trying to start a YouTube channel and do all this stuff, so yeah. It's been a little bit longer, but it's been, like I said, a wild ride. It's been really fun.
Wow, it's amazing. Good for you guys. So are you guys doing this full time now, or are you doing this part time, or like what's your schedule like?
That's an interesting question. So both of us do still have our 9-to-5 jobs. Both of us do still have full-time jobs. Mm-hmm. But we do Amazon FBA, and a big thing with that is that ever since we started Amazon FBA, so Kale started looking in like July. I hopped on like beginning of September. So I guess it's longer than 6 months, but it's been something where every cent of profit up until about a month and a half ago, we were just reinvesting back into Amazon rather than taking that profit out. So that was a huge reason why we grew so fast. But right now we're actually both still working our full-time jobs. We do Amazon FBA. We have another company that helps people sell on Amazon, and then we have our YouTube channel. So we don't sleep a whole lot, but we're making it work right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then how many hours per day would you say that you dedicate to your Amazon FBA business?
Oh my goodness. So I work on it off and on, while I can at work in between breaks and stuff like that. And then I come from my 9 to 5 and I come here to the studio. We actually have a studio location in a different part of the city, and we work 5 to 10, 11, 12. It's crazy. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. We're trying to make money now.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's everything. I think when you look at just Amazon FBA, I think that, for us, Amazon FBA incorporates everything we do. If we're just looking at our Amazon business, it's definitely not all day, every single day.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you said earlier we're doing about $80,000 in revenue a month, and we have 13 products up. And so when you're looking at 13 different products and you're looking at all of the different PPC campaigns and you're looking at all those different things, it does take up a pretty good chunk of time.
I would say, though, just a caveat, most of our time is spent trying to grow this YouTube channel because that's, as you know, all the editing, all the filming takes up most of that time. So the Amazon business, thank God, actually does kind of run itself at this point. And it's bringing in the money to allow us to, have this studio and do this stuff like this. So, yeah, that's the steadiest, easiest part of our day for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Good for you guys. You guys are definitely hustlers.
Yeah, thanks.
So how long would you say it started to take you before you actually started seeing profits with your Amazon business?
So I got really lucky. I actually made money in the first 2 weeks. There's a video about it on our channel. It's about how not to sell. My first product was cornhole lights, and there's a whole story of how it got taken down because it was a patented product and all this stuff. But we made about $7,000 in about a month and a half just on cornhole lights. We were #1 bestseller. It was just kind of lightning in a bottle. Yeah. And it honestly got me Taylor as a partner because Taylor saw what was happening and then came on. So it worked out.
Yep. So yeah, it was pretty quick in terms of seeing profit on the first product. But that product is patented, by the way, cornhole lights is. So if you're watching this, you're like, oh, that's a product idea. Don't do it. But it was really what that enabled us to do was it enabled us to take the initial investment that Kale had made of, a couple $1,000 and then add that $7,000 on and it enabled us. And then I came on and put, a couple $1,000s in. So it enabled us to have kind of this big pot that we could work with from there to launch more products, to move forward and start with more money than we, originally started with.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so you guys said you have about 13 products now, and how did you know when it was time to move on to the next product? Because I know a lot of people are like, okay, I got my first product out there. Should I already be trying to figure out what my next product is, or how do I know when it's the right time to launch that second, third, fourth product?
Yeah, so that's a really interesting question, because if somebody asked us that question, we would actually tell them to do the opposite of what we did.
Don't do what we did.
Because when we first started, we were watching YouTube, videos, we were listening to podcasts, doing that kind of stuff. But I remember when I first got on and Kale and I were really first getting started, our goal was to have 100 products up by the end of 2018. Like, we were just gonna throw products up, just go as fast as we could. And like, if a product failed, then it was gonna be fine because we'd have another one that did well. Yep. That's a terrible idea. Do not do that. And that's what kind of happened with us, is where we wanted to put all these products up. So we literally put up like 6 products all at one time. And what that does is it takes your attention away from what you need to be paying attention to.
And it just limits your cash flow. So we weren't able to reinvest the right way we wanted to. We weren't able to invest in the products that were great because we were trying to liquidate these other ones. So throughout all that process, we found the ones that are great. And you've experienced the same thing, where you find few that are better and you just stick with those. So if I could tell a starter, an Amazon newbie, pick 1 or 2 products, grow it to the level that we're at, and then add another one.
Yeah. I would just grow it as much as you can and then start looking for your second one. You want your first one to be kind of almost self-sustaining, then move on to the next one. Get that one to where it's self-sustaining, move on to the next one.
Yeah, that's great advice. I mean, I share the same advice with that, just because I see a lot of people that they are hungry to move on to the next one because it's exciting. I mean, the whole journey is exciting. And once you get that first product out there, you feel like, okay, I know the process. I can just replicate it and do it for the second product and the third product. But really, we want to develop that mentality of mastery and just make sure that we really kind of use all our resources, do everything that we can to make sure that first product is the best it can be, and then focus that time and attention onto the next one. Otherwise, it's kind of like the dabbling mentality, where you kind of just move on from one thing to the next, and you're never really making sure that that number one product can be the best that it can be. And I think that's where the value is.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like you should have been coaching us a couple months ago. We needed that help.
Yeah, I mean, like, speaking of coaching, do you guys have, do you have mentors? Do you have coaches? Or how did you even hear about Amazon? Like, how did you guys get started with it?
Yeah, so I actually just started on my own, looking at YouTube videos, checking out stuff like that. We ended up meeting a mentor and taking a course. We were already kind of at the level where we knew what we were doing at this point, but we have seen the value in that, especially with some of our students now, some of the people we're mentoring now, just because some of these questions that they ask, I was asking back then. Yeah. And I didn't have anyone to go to, and the fact that I can just quickly say, hey, don't do that, or hey, do this, has been really valuable for these people, and they're having a lot of success. So I kind of wish we would have had one back then.
I think mentoring is super important, and like having a coach is super important, because I think when it comes down to it, there are a lot of YouTube channels, there are a lot of podcasts that talk about Amazon FBA, and there's all this different information out there. And sometimes, I know that we did this when we first started, is we were taking like this nugget from this podcast and then this nugget from like this YouTube video and trying to combine them. Yeah. And that's not how it works. You shouldn't do that. And so having a coach, having a mentor that you can kind of run things by to say, hey, will this work? Will this work? Will that work? And then I think that the other thing that really helped us was like being a part of groups, whether that be on Facebook or being a part of a community on YouTube where you can talk to other people, you can ask other people questions, you guys can kind of, a group can kind of work things out themselves and figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah, totally. That's so true. Yeah, I feel the same way because, it's hard because there's a lot of value on YouTube, and, people like yourselves and myself, we are trying to add value to people, give free information, but it's not like you can make a video explain every single step of the whole process, because that would take all your time, and then you wouldn't have time to work on your own businesses. So that's why it is good to either have kind of an in-depth course that can take you step by step, or have a mentor that can spend a good amount of time with you, because there's so many questions that need to be answered, and it'll take you forever to Google a piece here and a piece there, and it's good to just kind of get all the answers in one place.
Yeah, that's so true.
So I wanted to ask, I get a lot of questions about how much money does it take to start an Amazon FBA business. And I have to admit, when I first started, the amount that it cost me is significantly less than what I think is required to start up now. You can obviously kind of shoestring it, and you don't have to have a ton of money, but I think that it does require a bit of an initial investment. So what do you guys think? I mean, you don't have to give me a number, but did you guys feel like you needed to take out a loan, or did you finance it yourselves, or how did you kind of get that initial capital to start your business?
Yeah, so I actually started it with, I can just give you a number. I think it was $4,000. That was just the initial money that I put in that I had to do. Worked out, like I said, caught lightning in a bottle, had a really great product, even though it was patented, but had a great product. One of our students actually just put 2,000 in and turned it into 6,000 profit. So he found it was a very light product. It had a huge margin. So if you can find the right product, I would say you could still do it for a really small budget. But like you said, it is getting more competitive. But that range, I would say.
And I think the biggest thing with that is I think it's also what your expectation level is, right? Because if you have $1,000 and you're like, okay, I'm going to put $1,000 into Amazon FBA, and then I'm going to quit my full-time job next week, then that's the wrong expectation level, right? I think that, if you're looking for financial independence, you're looking to not have to have a full-time job and make Amazon FBA your full-time, then the sooner that you want to make that happen, the more money you're going to have, right? Yeah. And it's just, we've seen plenty of people, bootstrap it, do it with a lower amount of money. And really, from our experience, the more money you have, the faster it'll grow. Yeah. And so you can definitely get started with, you can get started with $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, but you are not going to grow nearly as fast as somebody who can drop 20 grand and get started.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And, the product you said your client had, something super lightweight, that's actually was one of my first products as well. It was extremely lightweight. I think I paid like 20 cents a unit, and it was selling it for just above $10. So that way, you don't have to have a lot of money. Just depends on the product you pick. And I totally agree with what you said, because, a lot of people sometimes they think that, oh, this is a great business, I can quit my job right away and then focus all my attention on the business. But your job is supplementing you with income. And if you don't have income to reinvest in the business, and it's going to become slower. But you guys kind of did it a great way, which is you just reinvested all your profits. So if you had taken out money for yourselves in the beginning, you probably wouldn't have grown as fast as you did.
That's right.
Yeah, not even close.
Not even close. Yep.
Yeah. So I think you guys, you said that you have 13 products. You said you kind of just wanted to hit that 100 mark, and you kind of just wanted to shoot out products here and there. So I assume that you guys aren't building a brand for each product. So kind of, I find that there's two methods with selling online. It's either you pick, develop different products under one big brand. Your brand is kind of your umbrella, or you decide, okay, this is a really hot selling product. Maybe you found it on Jungle Scout, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna sell that one, and then kind of do that with every time you want to launch a new product. You just find the best seller and you replicate that. So what was your method, brand or hot selling products?
Definitely hot selling products. We made the brand name kind of broad so that we could sell everything, and we kind of gone from there. We have noticed one of our biggest tips that I like to tell people is that if you have two products that feed each other, that's super nice. I mean, it doesn't have to, it's kind of a brand within a brand. So we have one electronic product that feeds another one. So like there's a picture of the other product within that product that says, hey, buy these together. And then it's bundled at the bottom. It says frequently bought together. And that's actually led to a ton of our sales. So that's one of the hacks we give away. But we just went for that.
Yeah, there's obviously pros and cons to both. We went with, hot selling products, whatever we can find at that time, because we did feel like if we decided to build a brand, that what we could limit ourselves. We could lock ourselves in. So, we're only going to sell, there are a lot of people who only sell like health supplements, right? Which is on a great market, you know, if you can get into it and do all the FDA stuff you have to do. But, you know, then you have to sell that supplement and you have to sell another supplement rather than, you know, if one of those supplements isn't doing well, then you kind of get stuck with it. So we decided to do that, but both are doable.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I always wonder with people, you know, everyone kind of has their own path and both are awesome. Both work really well. It just depends on what you want to do and how you want to build that brand. So just my understanding is you guys have a bunch of different products, but you still put the same brand name on each product, or you don't have a brand name? You do.
Same brand name on each
so we only have one Amazon seller account, and all 13 of our products are on that one seller account. You know, and as like he said, some of them are related. Like we have a couple in the electronics department. We have a couple in the sports and outdoors department. So a couple of them are like related or similar products, or they relate to each other. But yeah, it's all under one brand name.
Okay, awesome. Cool. And what would you guys say was your biggest struggle thus far with your Amazon business?
Biggest struggle.
People love this stuff. People love knowing how you struggled.
Yeah, I mean, starting a small business is kind of like startup pains. I would always tell Taylor, like, we're almost past the startup pains. We're almost past the startup pains. And our first two products, I would say, were the biggest struggle. Like I said, the cornhole lights got taken down. The next product I did was a baby side sleep wedge. I'm sure it's been on. So like the FDA came out with the thing that said this you can't sell this. It's dangerous for babies. They shouldn't have anything in their cribs. We made a whole video about how it went down. But yeah, I would say the beginning was the roughest for sure.
Yeah, and that was like multiplied for me because Kale started and actually had those two products both up right before I got on.
Yeah.
And so when I started talking to Kale and wanted to become a partner and invest money and do all those things that you do as a partner, I was seeing all of the sales numbers, all the revenue, all the profit from those two units. And then literally we signed all the paperwork, made it official. I came on as an official partner, and then both of them got taken down literally the next week.
Oh, wow.
And so I was coming into a business thinking, oh, this is going really, really well. Like cash flow is good. Like it's profitable. Like it's going. And then I come in and immediately cash flow goes to zero. And so I think the biggest struggle at first was definitely those couple months. And then ever since then, there's always different kinds of struggles, right? There's always struggles of, you know, are we going to run out of inventory? We're running through one right now where we launched a product. It's honestly selling better than we thought it was going to sell. And the lead time on it is 35 days for them to build and do everything for what we're ordering. And so right now we're worried that we're going to run out of stock before we can restock it. And so there's constantly these little struggles, but it's making sure that you don't give up, you keep pushing through, and you learn from mistakes that you make so that you can, you know, do it and build it bigger.
Yeah.
Totally. And every time you guys make a mistake, you learn from it and you're able to help others as you do with your YouTube videos and your coaching and mentoring. And I feel like that's kind of the greatest lesson of it all, is just being able to share that knowledge with everyone else, help them prevent making the same mistakes.
Exactly.
So, you know, we've got a lot of people who are interested in becoming Amazon sellers. So mostly newbies might be watching this. So say somebody is looking at private labeling their first product. What would be your top 3 criteria when you're picking your first Amazon product?
Oh, we got this. You go first. We just made a video about it.
So we have 3, and really, so I'll just say all 3, and then you can elaborate on what they are if you want. So we do use Jungle Scout software to help us look at markets. So one of the big parameters we want to meet, one of the big things we want to see is that 7 people out of the top 10. So when you pull up Jungle Scout on a product page, 7 out of those 10 have 75 reviews or lower. We want 7 out of that top 10 to have $5,000 in revenue or higher. And then we want whatever product we're looking at, and this takes a little bit more time because you have to do the product research and then reach out to a supplier. But we want all of our products to have at least at minimum 200% ROI.
Yep. And then the last one that so you do all that and then you get the product. this might be the biggest one is product quality.
Yeah.
So we literally, whenever we get a new product, we sit around, me and him and our wife and his wife and my fiance, we just try to break the products, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to see like which one's most durable. And then before we break them, I guess I ask them like, which one do you think is more expensive? We know which one's more expensive, but we're trying to get other people's opinion, trying to figure out which samples are the best, because that product quality can really come back to bite you. I'm sure you've experienced that, but
Yeah, those are awesome tips. Really, really great. Added a lot of value there, and couldn't agree more about product quality. I mean, that's the number one thing I feel, because in the end, you might save a little bit of money, but it's going to bite you in the ass when you get all the returns, all the negative reviews and negative feedback, and it's just going to put a hole in your pocket in the end. So don't go with a shortcut. There's no shortcuts for quality.
Right.
That's right. Yep.
So how about tools? You guys mentioned Jungle Scout, and I think, a lot of people know about Jungle Scout now. Is there any other tools that you guys have used that kind of accelerated your Amazon, learning journey, or anything that you love and adore that you could share with our viewers?
Yeah, so I just got off a Skype call today with one of our people, and I said if you were locked on a desert island and selling on Amazon, is that a thing? Yeah, I would only pick 2 software. So I would pick Seller.tools. I don't know, that might be not as well known. Seller.tools helps you craft your listing, helps you know how Amazon sees you, how relevant your keywords are. Once you use it to optimize your listing, your sales might double overnight. Like that's what happened with us. Crazy software. The guys who do it are multi-million-dollar sellers on Amazon. They actually know what they're doing. They're probably going to be on our channel soon, actually. I forgot to say that. Anyway, what was the other thing what was I talking about?
You were doing Seller.tools.
Oh, Seller.tools. And the other one is Metrics. So it's Amazon PPC optimization software. So I was doing it myself like every single day for like 6 months, finding the bids, making them lower, making them higher, putting negative keywords in, adding more keywords that are better suited for what we're doing, pausing keywords that suck. All of that stuff takes forever. Metrics does it automatically. And we don't get any money if you buy it, but you need those too.
And the only other one that we use reliably, we use Jungle Scout for product research, is we do use tools from Viral Launch. So Viral Launch is a big company. We don't use their market intelligence, product discovery. We don't use all that. We use Jungle Scout, but we have used their launch service. So to launch a product, you do have to pay Viral Launch, but then they take care of getting the units out and all that kind of stuff. So we have used those, but Seller.tools and Metrics are the 2 that are those are massive for us.
Yeah.
Awesome. The Viral Launch, I did do that once, but that was a number of, I think in the beginning, 2 years ago. Is that still where they, discount your product and you just get a bunch of sales?
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Discount at 90%, and it's just for ranking. It's just to put you on the top of a certain keyword.
Yeah. So did you guys do that with all your products or just a few of them?
Yeah, we actually have a different launch strategy. Most people say go after a big keyword like towel, like waist trainers, like you sell waist trainers, right? Instead of waist trainer for women, or something longer like that, something that has less volume. So we suggest a 2-part. I don't want to get into the weeds here. We have a video on our channel, but it's a 2-part launch process. We get initial reviews, we turn on PPC, we get more reviews, then we do a launch for long tail keywords as opposed to wasting money on a big one. So some stuff there.
Yeah.
That got complicated fast, but
no, it's so true. I just had someone email me now saying, I'm spending so much money on my Amazon ads, but it's not getting me anywhere. And I'm like, well, that's because you're doing the most popular keywords. You got to go more niche with it and figure out what are the long tail keywords that people are searching. What are the things that not everyone is thinking about, because those are cheaper and it's going to maybe get you further. So I agree with that.
Yeah,
exactly.
We actually have the 2 products we have in electronics. For one of them, we went after this massive keyword. We actually because we could only do this because of where we're at in our business, but we actually gave away 1,600 of them to get to the top of this keyword. And then for the other electronics product, we gave away 200 total, but spread out across 10 niche long tail keywords. And we do way more sales with the one that we gave away, way less units spread across all these longer tail niche keywords than we do the one that we gave away so many units for this big keyword.
Yeah, great example there. Awesome. You guys seem like you work really well together. So I'm just curious, how did you decide to partner with someone? Because I know that that's maybe something that a lot of people might consider because it can, you have two minds that can work at this together. So how did you guys decide on that, and how did you guys find each other?
So it's actually really funny. Back when Kale had that product up, had just put the second product up, I found out what he was doing. I asked him to go get dinner with me, and I started talking to him. And he told me, all the information. I was like, okay, cool. Are you like looking for a partner? Like, would you want to work with? Could I come on and work with you? And he literally was like, nah, I'm good.
Nah.
And so I was like, okay. Are you looking for any money?
Another change.
And he said yes. And so, obviously, if if one person has $2,000 and one person has $5,000, and you can come together and do $7,000 and get more quantity, or get a product that costs a little bit more, whatever you can get, then I think that will work out a lot. But honestly, for me, working with a partner, what it enables us to do is almost not every decision, but a lot of decisions that are made, we can bounce it off each other. Kel can say, hey, Taylor, what do you think about doing this? And I can say, hey, Kel, what do you think about doing this? And that way it just gives us two sets of eyes on it. It gives us two brains thinking about it. And I honestly think that, I don't know if Kale feels the same way, but obviously I couldn't have done it without Kale, because Kale, started it, and then I came on, and, we both do different things. I remember when we were setting up this video, like Kale's over here, like chatting it up with you, like, what's up? And I'm back here, like trying to fix the webcam and fix the lights, and like, we just do, do different things.
We help each other out. I think, honestly, it's been the most helpful. It's been obviously a great time this whole time, but the most helpful when we started YouTube, because I'm sure you know this. You can film a video and then you have to edit the video. Oh, yeah. And we kind of have that kind of down. I like work on the scripts, or I work on what we're going to say, and we film the video, then Taylor edits, and I work on other stuff. And that's really been helpful. Like, we're trying to pump out on our channel at least 3 videos a week, sometimes 4. And that's rough. So it's allowing us to kind of expand and really offer more content faster.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I know sometimes I feel like I wish I had a partner because I definitely see the value in it. I think it's also more fun because it can be kind of lonely working from your computer all day long and not really talking to anyone. So I could see the value in that as well. And it helps, the other person can point out things in you that you might not see. It kind of like helps you protect you from yourself, because, there's, I might think, oh, this is like an amazing product. It's so awesome. I love it, but then I'm getting emotionally attached to it, and my partner can tell me, well, it's not a profitable product. We're not going to do that.
Right.
So,
that's right.
Yeah, there's a lot of value for that. So how about, can you guys give me each one piece of advice, like if your number one piece of advice for a new seller?
I only get to pick one.
Only one.
I would say get started. There's so much analysis paralysis going on YouTube right now, going on the internet right now. There is a huge opportunity to do online business, whether it's Amazon FBA, whether it's Shopify. There's a lot of money to be made, and the people who start now are the ones who are going to make that money. And I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe that I wish I would have started 5 years ago, but the fact that when I actually learned about it, I made a move to start is the only reason we're sitting here.
Yeah.
So I would just say, let's go. Like, get started, take a step, get a mentor. Let's do it.
Yeah. Kale stole mine at the very end, but I was gonna say find a mentor, find somebody who's like-minded, find somebody that you can bounce ideas off of, because we talked about having a mentor, having a coach earlier, and it's just still, you can, if somebody is just brand new, like just found out about Amazon FBA, you can literally go and find 500 million videos on FBA, and you can find 500 million podcasts on FBA, and it doesn't do you any good to listen and watch all of them if you don't know how to piece the information together. And so
true. That's
probably what I would say.
Awesome. Great advice, guys. Thanks. Okay. And I wanted to know, if you could go back in time to 6 months ago, is there anything that you would have changed to maybe accelerated your progress, although you guys did amazing in 6 months. But is there anything that you would do differently that maybe you could share with our viewers?
I would have picked 1, 2, maybe 3 products, and I would have expanded them to the level where they were just unstoppable, where I was number one, where I had the most reviews, where I was the 100-pound gorilla in the room, if you know what I mean. Like, no one can touch me. I'm winning. I'm taking the whole market share. And then I would have expanded. But Taylor, we said this earlier in the video, but we tried to launch too many products too fast. We didn't have the quantities we needed. We just weren't able to blow it up in that way.
Yep. And I think that that is, I feel like that's the biggest thing that I would change is when we had that mindset. So we don't have the mindset anymore. We're not trying to launch 1 million products right now. I think that when we had that mindset, part of the mindset too was that, okay, well, we're going to launch 6 products all in the next month. And so let's order 100 of each one. And that was miserable, because what happens is if you order that low of a quantity and it sells like you think it's going to sell, you're going to sell out before you can reorder, and then your ranking will start to fall, all that kind of stuff. And so I would just, I would want to go back and find, instead of doing 6 products, go down to 1 and then buy 1,000 of them. Yeah. That way we can get, the ranking, get the sales flowing in, and reorder as we feel necessary.
Awesome. Great advice. And what would you guys say to the skeptics? Because obviously there's a lot of skeptics on YouTube seeing these videos on how to make money on Amazon, but they're missing a great opportunity. So is there anything that you would say to maybe make them feel better?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. I think the reason there are skeptics is because there are some shady people that are trying to take advantage of people in this, and we all know who these people are, the ones who are trying to sell you something and not giving you any value back. Yeah. But that's going to happen in any industry. So I would just kind of ignore that and look at the facts. The facts are that 50% of sellers on Amazon do over $100,000 in revenue a year. 50%. Like, I can't think of any other businesses, any type. You want to open a retail store, you want to do anything else that has that kind of success rate. Like, if you can give me one, I'd love to hear it in the comments. But that is a seriously high success rate, and it's also the biggest online retailer in the world. So we made a whole video about, is Amazon FBA dead? Everyone made the video, but we said no, because it is the biggest online retailer in the world. It's taking over, it's growing, it's getting even bigger, and the customers are growing faster than the sellers, and that's just the simple fact of it.
Yeah, I don't want to seem like I'm trying to brag or seem like I'm arrogant or anything like that, because I think that's really, really easy to do when someone asks you or someone says, "Oh, well, I don't know if that will work." But I don't. Can you see this? Will this work?
No, you're white.
I wish it would work. Well, if you could see this.
Wait,
there
yeah,
it goes.
It's focusing slowly. There you go. There we go. Yeah, we can see it.
So that's not to brag. That's not to be like, look at us. But if somebody says, "Oh, well, Amazon FBA doesn't work," I can say, "No, it does work. I have proof. Here's my Seller Central account. I promise you it works if you put the work in."
Yeah, it's not like we started 5 years ago.
Right. And so it's like, and once again, I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to do anything like that. But I want people to know that it works, because it does work, and it can work really, really well if you put the work in.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, guys. So you guys are awesome. You're genuine people. Where can my viewers find you? I'll be linking your YouTube channel down below. Can you talk a little bit about it, and any other place that you guys want linked up?
Yeah, so the YouTube channel is probably the best place to get all the information that we've passed over here. We also have a Facebook group, which is linked in all of our videos. I can send you the link to that as well. People are really kind of getting going. They're talking to each other. They're helping each other out. It's really kind of fun to see. You can find us. Our other company is called Honey Badger Boost, which is we just like honey badgers. We thought they were dope. And it's basically listing optimization, product photography, and launch help. We don't have a launch service, but we are going to make sure that your listing is ready, and we're going to make sure it's ready for launch. So awesome service. Check that out. Follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, we can send you like our Facebook links and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, I'm sure that you interact with your viewers and stuff, but we talk to people on Facebook all day, every day. And so if somebody wants to reach out to us on the Facebook group, reach out to us on our Facebook, send us a message, and we'll say, what's up?
That's right.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Cale and Taylor, for being here today. You added a lot of value. And for all my viewers, comment below, what was the biggest value bomb for you? What did you learn from this video? I'd love to know. I'm sure you guys would love to know as well. Many takeaways here. So again, everything will be linked down below, and I'll get you guys all the contact information. And thank you again for your time. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, so awesome
Thank
to
you.
see you. Thank you for having us.